She'll be your viewer fill as well, so if there is a car evacuation for any reason. Yeah, no worries. Okay, bye.
It's online, so.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. We're very excitingly live streaming on our YouTube channel tonight as well. So just bear that in mind. I think it's worked. And we are also recording it. Ooh.
Thanks, Kate. Before we get started, could I just ask everyone to keep their mics muted through if they're not speaking? That would really help. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do that once we hit 6 o'clock. There'll be a few rules and regulations. This is just getting prepped now.
Chyba wszystko. I...
Right, Cath, are you ready? What a turnout already. Absolutely love it. Good evening, everybody. A couple of housekeeping tips. Please put yourself on mute if you are not presenting. Please also note that we are currently live on our YouTube channel, and this is also recorded. So feel free to close your video off if you don't want to be featured. But it is a beautiful and amazing community that ArtCan is surrounded by and is part of. So this is a beautiful safe space, and this particular exhibition I feel has such brilliant ethos and roots based on that particular community and the creativity and the vision that all of our artists and all of our supporters and volunteers sort of share. So huge thanks to Cath for their vision in actually delivering this. It's some people sort of mentioned to me, you know, the power of the pencil, is that going back to basics? And I don't believe it is. I believe it's going back to the strengths. It's going back to that core origin, which just enables any creative to then expand and have confidence in their message and in their processes. And Sarah Pooley, please, will you put yourself on mute? I've managed to do it. There we go. Sorry, sorry for the interruption. And I'm actually really not going to be saying much more to that. I just have some thank yous, which are incredibly important. Firstly, obviously, to Cath, our curator, who is just brilliant. And this is the second outing as a curator for an ArtCan virtual show. And everything that you see this evening is 100% their sort of vision and belief and passion in the visual world. So yeah, you're in for a real treat. That's all I can say. Also for introducing Cara, who is our special guest this evening, and also our special guest to ArtCan as a musician, which just adds that beautiful dimension to anything visual. You can be surrounded as well with amazing music. So thank you, Cara, from ArtCan and from all of us for participating in this collaboration. It just, the synergy is amazing. Obviously all the artists who have supported and contributed to this show, but also behind the scenes to Rita, Pauline and Lucy, who are our volunteers, who have kept it ticking along and keeping things going as needed. And then the absolutely brilliant Tom at TD360, who once again has decided to take our beautiful ArtCan virtual gallery, and this time, as Cath very rightly said, turned it into a museum of art, which again just blows my mind that we are able to interact on such a virtual space that just embodies the vision and the style of what that particular exhibition is too, and it just becomes this whole immersive occasion. So Tom, you are a total rock star and I salute you. So anyway, that's enough from me. Let's go over to Cath, who will then host the rest of the proceedings. So thank you all for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much, Kate, and welcome everybody. Firstly, I'm not going to say too much because I've got some curators' notes on the intro wall, so they're there for everyone to see. But I would like to say, firstly, a really big thank you to Kate and the trustees of ArtCan for giving me the opportunity to create this wonderful exhibition with all your fantastic works. I also want to really thank Rita and Pauline behind the scenes, as Kate has said, who worked tirelessly for us. Thank you so much. But especially, I'd like to thank, two specials actually. I'd like to thank Tom, the creator of this amazing building, and for, curating the spaces beautifully. It's an incredible amount of work for him. I think partly due to me not understanding there might be a limit of the amount of works I could put in the exhibition. So it just sort of grew, and he had to build the space to accommodate that. And thank you, Tom, for being so accommodating. Absolutely amazing work. Really, really great. Thank you. And then finally, but not least, to my wonderful dear friend, Cara, who's able to join us today, and such a great opportunity to collaborate with you, Cara, on a creative project. It's really exciting. Your music is beautiful. It inspires me, and so thank you very much. But most of all, I'd like to thank all the artists for making my life really easy. Because you've provided a diverse and inspiring collection. Thank you all. And all the work is for sale. It's a testament to the artists we've got on ArtCan, really, and using the pencil that unites us all as artists, whether we're sculptors, painters, or whatever field we're in. You can see aspects of this throughout the exhibition. And so, yeah, thank you all, because also everybody that submitted work is exhibiting in this exhibition. There wasn't a main theme as such, and whether you like a work or not is very subjective, and it was really important for me to give every artist that submitted an opportunity, so to make it really inclusive, because I'm a DE&I advocate, so it's really important. That's what motivates me in my work too. Motivation for me to create this exhibition is to make connections with artists. I'm in London today in my work office, but I live in remote West Wales, and I feel quite cut off sometimes. And I just think that ArtCan provides that platform to really connect artists, and it really has helped. And from last year when I curated the Artism Insight, I made some wonderful connections, and also through the Legacy exhibition. There's all sorts of things. So thank you all, and you're amazing. So I just want to hand over to Cara to say a few words, and just then, if it's okay with you, what I thought we might do is just walk through the outside of the building to listen to the music, the first reel of the music, and then I'll probably stop the audio, because last time when we did this, it was difficult to hear people talk with music in the background. So, but I really want you to, and then you can go in afterwards and listen to the music to your heart's content. And please go and check out Cara's album. It's just absolutely fantastic. The links are on the intro wall. So I thought we'd do that. I've invited 5 artists. It's really, it wasn't a preference or anything, and we can't unfortunately talk to everyone, but I've invited 5 artists to talk about their work today. Day was one of them, and unfortunately has got some cracked ribs, and we really hope you get better soon, Day, if you're watching this. So hopefully, if Sarah is still around, because it's her son's birthday, she stepped in to maybe say a couple of words about her pieces. So I'm just, with no further ado, I'll hand over to Cara. Cara, welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cath. Well, what a privilege it's been to be invited to provide the music for this wonderful exhibition. I've been getting to know a few of the artists on Instagram, and it really has opened my eyes to the wonderful world of not only the pencil, but also art in general. I've never really done anything like this, but Cath said to me a few months ago that she'd been listening to my LP when she was working, and that it sort of chimed with her. So when she asked me to contribute to the exhibition, I thought it would make sense to actually use parts of the LP. So I have a show reel which my son and I edited together, and that has formed the backdrop for all of your wonderful art. I think it does sort of go with it, strangely. I won't say the simplicity of the pencil, but there is something very pure about it, which I can really respond to. And as you will hear, there's a real sort of simplicity to my composition. So I think that's possibly why they go together. But yeah, I haven't really got a huge amount to say. I mean, my music comes from a place really of nature. I live in the depths of Herefordshire, and I go out for long bike rides, I go out for long walks, and I can find myself in the zone, which is also the title track of the LP. But I get a lot of ideas inspired by nature. I know that sounds a bit trite, but that's where I am with the way that I work at the moment. So I do hope you find that it complements your work. And yeah, that's probably all I've got to say. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the exhibition as it rolls out. It's going to be amazing. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Cara. That's great. It's really lovely. Thanks for collaborating. It's beautiful music. So what I'm going to do is try and share my screen with the audio. So just bear with me. Like I said, we'll just take like I think it's a few minutes just to listen to the music, just the first, and then I'll stop it, and then we can have a chat with the artists. Okay, let's go for it. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, can everyone, perhaps Kate, you can tell me if you can see the ArtCan gallery screen?
No, not showing yet.
Sorry, just bear with me, sorry. Oh, it's asking me to quit and reopen.
Hang on, let me, if I make you host, it might make it easier. Hang on a second.
Okay. Thanks, Kate. All right. Yeah, I think this looks different now. Thanks, Kate. Okay, let me know.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Well, it's getting there.
Yeah, sorry.
Yay, lovely, good.
Okay.
You just need to enable audio.
Okay, we're going to go for it now. And let me know if you can hear it as well. If you just stick your finger up or something, thumb up.
Yeah.
Loud, too loud? Okay.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Cara, I think that was the end of the, is that right? Great. Okay, right, we're going to just go through now and have a chat with a couple of the artists without the audio. Would love to have it running in the background, but it was a bit problematic with hearing people talking. Thank you so much, Cara. It's absolutely beautiful. It really fits the space amazingly. Thank you so much. And there's a hand up actually from someone. Maybe that was a mistake. Okay. Right, we'll start on the outside. I know that Sarah has to go at past, but so perhaps if people don't mind, we could just, Sarah, I don't know if would you be happy just to go first? I know you've got a birthday event, and then we'll hop to Elizabeth if that's okay. So Sarah, I'm just going to mute my mic.
No, that's fine.
Thank you.
It looks absolutely incredible, I must say. I did have a look earlier, but just having it a little bit larger on the screen, because I was watching it on my phone, but it's just, yeah, incredible. It's really delightful to be part of this, but as I've been listening to the music, I've been thinking about the way that I actually work. And Cara, when you were talking about your music, I was thinking about the actual mark making that I do, and the repetition and the kind of building up of layers. And as I was listening to your music, I was thinking, the crossover between art and music is really, really relevant and very strong with listening, looking at the work and actually looking at the work in front of us and listening to your soundtrack. It's really rather beautiful. So thank you for doing that. It goes beautifully with the work on show. But my work here that I put in are just, they're ways of kind of exploring the buildings that I go to with my camera. So they're really sort of amalgamations of photographs and memory of the space. And yeah, this is one of the two pieces that I put in. But they're also a way of kind of working through how I'm going to take my 2D work into 3D work. So that's really what I wanted to say about the work that I've put in here.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks so much. Okay. And hope your birthday event goes really well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Elizabeth. Elizabeth loves creating digital art inspired by music. So you're really quite apt. I'll mute my mic and hand over to you if you're around, Elizabeth.
Why can't I hear you?
Oh, hello. Oh gosh, I can't. You can see me and hear me, can you?
Yes, we can.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Hello, everybody. So first of all, thank you, Cath, for accepting my piece and inviting me to speak. It's great. It's a beautiful, beautiful show, and I'm delighted that I've got one of my pieces are outside on this lovely, balustrade, if you like. So basically, my piece is called Mapping Anxiety, and I draw music, and I collaborated with an American pianist and composer called John Franick, whose piece is actually laid out on the top side of the cube. 4, 8, 12. I think it's about 12 pages. And what I did was I discovered I could create a profile from joining a selection of his musical notes. I had to play around with the layout of his music to allow me to do so. So it was a real exploration of what I could actually draw with musical notes. And so his piece is called Torso, and it is all about anxiety, hence my title, Mapping Anxiety. John Franick suffered from panic attacks when he was younger, and so did I as a child, in fact. So I connected from that point of view. And when you listen to his music, it's written for 4 solo violinists plus a violin orchestra. So it's yeah, it's very string based. Obviously, it's very tense, very shrill, very full of anguish, and of course full of tension, which you would imagine you would have if you were having a bit of an anxiety or panic attack. I really encourage you to listen to it. It's called Torso by John Franick. So I decided to, in order to depict the themes in his music, I decided to put the profile on the top side of the cube and then to project it, if you like, on some of the sides to kind of give that feeling of what's happening, what's going through your head, it's spinning. And I thought that was the perfect way to do it. And of course, I love grids and mapping. So this type of drawing, very technical, it's called axonometric drawing, allowed me to do so. And I think I'll end it there. Thank you.
Oh, Elizabeth, thanks so much. That's really, really interesting.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go ahead inside now because it's a really big space and there's lots to see. I think that ArtCan are going to try and arrange an event. Is that right, for an artist event so everybody can have a?
Yeah, we'll do a series of artist talks through the run of the show as well. So there will be time to hear more voices.
Thanks, Kate. So you've got a bit of curator notes there from me, and there's some links here as well, and most importantly to Cara's music. Wonderful. I've invited Agnieszka Laskas to talk about her work, and I just thought that you'll see that this piece of work here, it just, for me, just encapsulated everything about the power of pencil, and you're seeing it on the flyers. It's Tom's been brilliant in putting it on the front of the building, and I just think that it really does evoke the spirit of the exhibition. So I'll hand over to you, Agni.
Oh, thank you so much, Cath. I'm so delighted to be here. You don't even know how much. Not only I'm very new to ArtCan, so thank you so much, Kate and Rita. I feel very much held by the organization, and to be part of this is massive because I am actually a photographer. So I decided to take myself out of my comfort zone and do the drawing. Last time I did drawing when I was in primary and secondary school. So I thought, let me just get myself out of the box and just like step away from my perfectionism. So I absolutely loved your description in the call for applications that, okay, it doesn't need to be perfect, no draftsmanship. And I say, yes, I can do it. And I just couldn't believe that I got in, and I'm just honestly so honored and like just looking at the pieces that have been submitted. I'm just so very, very pleased and happy. I wanted to as well like give massive well done to Cara. Like the music is absolutely stunning. I think it really like complements the work so well. And I'm actually impressed as well how this like online gallery is presented, because I have taken part in online exhibitions before, and sometimes they really look slightly on an artificial side. And I love the nature and how it actually like is presented. Like I can see through pieces and see nature. I think this is like such a beautiful touch, and also with the music that is inspired by nature, it actually works beautifully together. So I wanted to mention that before talking a little bit more about my work. So I've decided to call these three pieces fragmentation. And I think it kind of is both like literally and symbolically. At times, myself as an art, I feel fragmented as an artist. Like I've got so many different ideas, so many different drives, and depending on what modality I use, I either get into my like super OCD, I need to have it perfect, or I'm like not showing it to anyone. Or funny enough, at times when I explore something new, I just allow myself to embrace my inner child and just go for it. So this is very much that. I started with trying to draft things, maybe like get it right. And then I said, you know what, I'm just gonna get this charcoal out and I would just like go over it. Not gonna even look at my work and see what happens. And then, oh, there's something.
Can you put yourself on, please?
Okay, I think is it better? Is it better?
I just muted.
Okay. I still have a go here.
We can hear you fine.
No, there's a bit of feedback, Cath. Can you just mute Deb, because you're the host now. If you go into participation, you'll be able to spot who's not muted.
Okay, I'll try. There's something. It's quite difficult about that. Maybe I should talk about. But anyway, the figures, some of them looking in direction. Is highlighting myself just wanting to do something transpires. Is it still like?
Give us a moment. We're going to get this sorted.
I'm just going to leave it at that, but I'm just absolutely delighted that this is possible, and this is an out-of-the-box exhibition, and that you are encouraging artists like from different modalities, different talents to come together. Like you challenge them, and I absolutely love it, because that's exactly what the artists should be doing, challenging themselves all the time, like not to get in your comfort zone too much. And I think this is going to actually help me not only like maybe explore this a little bit more, because I'm like just every week I'm training to improve the skill, but I found myself, I got like so many more ideas in general creatively. And that's with one thing, like do something different. Like just don't get so obsessed with like, some of you might know water photography. So I've been doing water, and it's great. I love nature. But it's slightly different and brought so much freshness into my creative headspace. I can't even thank you enough for this. So thank you for coming up with an idea. Thank you for accepting all of us. And you've done a great job putting it together in a space, as I've mentioned. So I'm very proud to be part of this. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Agnieszka. It's been a pleasure to hear you speak about your work. Thank you. Super. Okay, we're going to move through the space now, and we've got something a little bit different to look at now. As you'll see here, we have some sculptures, and I expect some people were quite surprised to see that. And Carol Burry's drawings and paper textiles are physically combined in this new small-scale pleated and folded works, and Carol took up the gauntlet from Tom and I to photograph her work with a new 360-degree app. The exhibition last year focused on this, but it's taken it a little bit further, and the results are amazing. And I just have to thank you, Carol. It's a lot of work for you. You really did a great job. I'm going to stop talking now, but I'm going to pick. You can actually go in here and turn them around, the sculptures, and really look at them in a 360 environment. So thank you for that, Carol, and over to you.
Thank you, Cath, and thank you, Kate. This is a delight for me, as much as we've all been saying tonight. Yeah, you really did challenge me, and actually it's validated the work. I mean, I really didn't know how to do this when you said, but you know, I think we all go, yes, I'll do that. And then think, oh, so how do I do it? Right, okay, I'll go away. Looked at lots of YouTubes. I mean, Tom was really helpful as well. And you just kept encouraging me, Cath. So thank you. You've certainly given me food for thought, and actually it really helped the work say what I wanted it to say. It's the first time this last year I've really been experimenting and working to try and combine my drawings and my textiles. When I say textiles, I've always worked with paper. I don't use fabric. But to actually combine the two, this year has just been quite a journey that I've been making. So this exhibition has just been absolutely ideal venue. It's just incredible. And to see them like this, I think I always wanted this to happen, but I didn't quite know how to do it. So it's they're coiled pencil drawings, and so they are compacted records of my favourite walks, a little bit like Ara was saying, you know, she likes to make the music about walks. I like to make my drawings about the walks. Sometimes I'm on my own, sometimes with other people, and I think that's really important, that the drawings I then make back in my studio are about those walks, those treks. It's made me start looking at pilgrimages. I haven't made a pilgrimage, but it's made me think about that sort of journey and what it is you explore and find out about yourself by going on a pilgrimage. They are made out of, the coil pieces are made out of a very, very lightweight tissue paper. And they are long, long drawings. There's about 30 to 40 meters. And I'm not exaggerating. I made a note of how many sheets of paper I was using. And they're compacted down, really tightly pleated into about 1.5 meters for this one. And the other coiled one is probably just a little bit less. They're really delicate when they're in that unpleated stage, really delicate. They're fixed, all the pencil, and they're normal pencils. They're not graphite powder or anything. They're pencil drawings, and they're fixed because the way I then treat them, they need to be fixed. Otherwise, everything would just get graphite everywhere. Because it's not a paper, that it doesn't hold the pencil like a cartridge paper would or a watercolor paper. So it's quite different. They're quite fragile. But the pleating, they're held together with these pieces. It's cotton thread. I've also done some with silk thread, and I'm experimenting at the moment with silver wire, which is working out really well. I like the idea of walking. It's a rhythm. It's one foot in front of another. It's just repetition after repetition after repetition. You know, you see things and you experience sounds, and it's all wonderful, but it's repetition, and that is what I find quite exciting. The coils themselves were inspired. I went to the British Library back in the autumn to see their gold exhibition and was blown away by this one piece, and it was some beaten gold, and it was only about 2 inches wide, but it was about 2 meters, and it was from 1640. It was really old, nearly 400 years old, and this gold had been inscribed on the inside and then coiled. And it was a beautiful, beautiful object. But the more important, it's a treaty. It's a ratified legal document between two nations, and it's as important to those two nations as like our Magna Carta is to us. It is incredible. So it goes beyond beauty. It's something more, and I think that is what I'm trying to do. I love it when people go, "Oh, these are beautiful, Carol, but I'm getting something else from it," and I really like it when they start saying something, there's something else comes from within. And the way that the marks are compacted, it changes them, it gives them a new life. And I really like that new life gives them new ideas and gives new thoughts. And they become something completely different. I'm really, really glad that, Cath, you got me to take all these photographs, because I'd never come across this app before. And it was like taking 200 photographs. And I put the note out on my village. I live in a tiny village, but I put this note out on my village WhatsApp. Has anybody got a turntable? And has suddenly got everybody going, yeah, I've got one, I do icing. And another one, I've got a drawing one. And so I had these turntables. And thanks to Barbara, my friend, she gave me this one to try, and it worked. And it was really quite exciting, but I didn't know how to crop it. It's easy to crop a 2-dimensional picture, but suddenly cropping a 3-dimensional object, well, that just in my head in a little bit. What else do I want to say? I do like making these journeys through gardens or landscapes, or the fields, and where I live. And I can't just go to one place and start drawing. I find that quite hard to do. I find that these are places that are really, really familiar to me. They're the sort of stone that I know, they're the fields I know, they're the woodlands I know. And it just comes out more and more and becomes quite lyrical and quite on all sorts of levels. It sort of becomes a gift if anybody wants to take it. A gift for me to give to whoever I want to give as well. And I don't mean a gift like the bow, and I mean something a little bit deeper.
That's wonderful, Carol.
That's all I want to say. I probably said too much anyway, sorry.
No, it's really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm just a little bit conscious of time, but that was wonderful. Thank you. And so I'm just going to slightly speed through the exhibition. I'm sure you'll all look at it in your own time, but there's just some incredible space around the works, which it was really important for me, and also the finishes of the concrete and the lighting from above. So let's just walk round. You'll all go in to have a look at this afterwards. Day Bauman's work here, obviously. Hope you get better soon, Day. Really hope you do. And it's just such a wonderful selection of work from all of you. Such diverse styles, messages. Really incredible work. This is your exhibition. It's fantastic. Well done, all of you. And I'm so grateful to have made the connections I've made through this show. There's my work on the left there. I'm not going to talk about it. You can have a look at it in your own time. This is not about me. This is about all of you. You've got Jill's work here. Lovely, wonderful. But there is an artist that I would like to close, and then maybe if we've got a couple of minutes, if I don't want to open the floor because we'll be here all night. But yes, I'd like to go to Yasid Linney's work as one of the artists that I've been fortunate enough to make connection with through the Legacy exhibition, actually, and just sort of by messaging each other. And I see it as a really great, a fantastic artist and ArtCan friend of mine. And this is all because of ArtCan. Yasid is inspired by nature and heritage, beguiling and beautiful work with a message. And so with that, I'm going to hand over to you, Yasid. I don't know which work you would like to focus on first, but over to you.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. Perhaps if we focus on the one on the black background. I think it's I find it interesting listening to Agnieszka, because a lot of what you said really resonated with me. I think I had a casual conversation with Cath, and she said, "Are you entering this?" And I went, "I don't draw very much," and I sort of went into a little panic, thinking I can't do this because I don't, because I'm surrounded by people who are such amazing draftsmen. And she said, no, it can just be rough. It can be an idea. And I just thought, well, I do that anyway. And I thought I must stop having this hang up. that I don't draw as much as I do, because I do mark make, and I'm fascinated by the exhibition itself, because the walls themselves almost look like a history of marks, don't they? And there's this lovely kind of archaeology, I think, in that space that invites all these fantastic variety of drawings. And I think for me, listening to Cara's music, I was just thinking that when I draw, it tends to be quite meditative, and your music, I think, invites you to, because I think when you draw, you almost close everything down, don't you? Because you just go in with the mark, and I think when I draw, it's like an alternative method of expression to action, words, because I can't always describe in words how I feel. Or what's going on in my mind. So more often it's just a sketch, and it's just, I think the exhibition is a reminder not to pin your hopes on one drawing, because sometimes a first idea isn't enough, and then the second one isn't enough either, or even the third one. And I think for me, these, when I've got actually 3 drawings on the same theme, and there are 2 in this exhibition. Thank you, Cath, for out of the 3. And when I do sketch, it tends to be because I think I don't know about some of you, I get rather overburdened by news events. And I think sometimes I suffer from a kind of news trauma. And so for me, a quick response is quite therapeutic, doing a sketch. So with this particular piece, everybody remembers when George Floyd was murdered during the first lockdown. We were all locked into that space, and everybody absorbed that collective trauma. And there are so many names that come out of the US, where you have the Black men as victims. And on the 1st of February, which is the first day in Black History Month in the US, Black History Month is in October here, there was public outcry, there was grief because of a young man who was murdered, and for Black men in the States in particular, and globally throughout the diaspora, there's this collective notion of memory of slave patrols, lynch mobs, and police beatings. And we've even got the news today with the Met Police, that's sort of resonating for all of us. But I think with this drawing itself is a precursor to something I want to paint, and I started thinking about this in February, and the painting still hasn't evolved because I keep trying out different ideas, and it's a reminder that you can't just knock something off. Sometimes it takes a while for something to evolve, and I know that the painting will address vulnerability, but at the same time I don't want to harp on something that is negative and something that reinforces the trauma. I like this idea of something being hopeful. So the image is one of preparatory idea. It's on black paper. So it's obviously a Black man, and the background serves as a dark past of historical events, which sadly don't change. And I was thinking while I was drawing, and you've got these rather cold, it was chalk, but it came out blue, which I found quite interesting. It may be because of the residue of the paper that I was using. So you've got these cold blue threads that both mask the face and line it, and it's just a reminder of the disposability of a Black life, at least anyway, the demeaning of it. I call this one Trapped in History. Mainly because I read quite a lot, as some people on Instagram probably aware of. The title comes from James Baldwin, who noted that white people are still trapped in a history which they don't understand. And until they understand it, they can't be released from believing, for all sorts of reasons, that Black men are inferior to white men. And I didn't realize that there's even a psychological study that goes back to, I think, 2007. There is such a thing as racial trauma, which is rooted in history. And few really do appreciate the level of violence that's meted out to Black men in the US, and it's repackaged here in the UK under institutional racism. I don't want to start sounding as though I'm making a lecture. Sorry if it's, I make no apologies for raising that, because these are thoughts that go through my mind while I'm doing something. And if you're racialized as Black, you're more likely to die in police custody or contact than a white person. And very recently, at the end of last year, the latest Home Office statistics for England and Wales show that Black people in the UK are twice as likely to die in police custody than a white person, twice as likely to be murdered if you are Black in England and Wales. I don't know why it's just England and Wales and not Scotland, and that's only just crossed my mind. But if you look at the image again, the other thought that came to mind is that, I don't know if some of you thought of this, but you know the Japanese saying, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And those three monkeys are symbolic also in Japanese of positive thinking and doing good deeds. So many people believe that if you think, speak and act like the three wise monkeys, you'll have good luck. And so the image as well is one of positive and not dwelling on the negative. So, as I mentioned, suggested before, it's my initial message of hope, because there are success stories, but we've got to be careful that good news stories can sometimes act as window dressing and inspire wishful thinking. But I think the main thing for me while drawing this is this importance of having a nuanced narrative of Black men. There's a T-shirt that I came across, which I think will title the painting that I will eventually do. And it's called, the T-shirt reads, Black men deserve to grow old, which I think is quite powerful. And whatever happens with the initial, the final painting, I think because I work in layers and abstraction, the history of the preparation will always remain.
That's wonderful, Yasid. Thank you so much. I really don't want to cut you off, but that was really wonderful. And I think we're going to have to leave it there because a few of us are on a hard stop. And I would thank you so much. Really, really important message. Really interesting to hear you talk about your work. Thank you very much. So I just wanted to just sort of hand over back over to Kate, really, for some last words, Kate, if that's okay.
Oh, I'm so immersed with it. It's just amazing. Huge thank you to everybody who took time to visit our online virtual private view, which I know so many people have been discussing whether or not virtual private views or virtual exhibitions still have a place. And I just think this evening has shown that they do. It just brings everybody together. There's that connectivity. There's the international aspect as well, which is something that I will always try and nurture and maintain those crossing of borders that ArtCan has always tried to do. And I think having a hybrid sort of format for a private view enables these voices to actually be heard more so than if we're all standing around in a gallery space with a glass of wine in our hands. Even though if this was a physical and actually an ArtCan museum, then I really wouldn't be complaining, but maybe in the future. So thank you so much to absolutely everybody. If you could all unmute now, then I do believe that a huge round of applause is owed to Cath and to all of the artists who are on the call this evening for the private view. So please do everybody unmute.
And Cara.
Exactly, Cara, everybody, just it's been such a team effort and it's absolutely brilliant. So everybody, thank you so much for this evening and round of applause.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you again. Keep following ArtCan for future events and everything that's going on. And now, if you just head to the website, you'll be able to immerse yourself in the exhibition and take your time as you go around and see all the stories. So yeah, that's it from us. Thank you so much, everybody, and good night.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Oh, Cath, can you make me a host again, please?
Kate, is that okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Kate. Thanks.